Welcome everyone to Chaos Mikey. Please join me on my journey on Fantasy Island. Welcome friends. Where we talk about the new iMac redesign that's coming out. Someone supposedly saw the redesign in iOS 14 source code. I do not believe that's the iMac. I mean, it's been a decade. It's due for an upgrade. So the current iMac we have came out in 2009 if I recall correctly. Has a standard black screen with the chin on it. 2012 rolled around, tapered the edges so they could say it's thinner when you look at it from an angle. The Pro XDR display looks amazing. And how about we bring that over to the iMac? Now, Sonny Dixon has said that the iMac is going to get iPad Pro-like design. Well, what does that mean? They took the screen and shrunk the bezels down. I expect to see something like that for the 27-inch iMac. And the 21.5-inch iMac, they're actually going to stretch the screen to meet the casing, what they did similar to the MacBook Pro 16-inch. So we're going to actually have a 23-inch iMac and a 27-inch iMac. Okay, now let's talk about pictures. Mac Rumors render looks beautiful. Beautiful lighting, beautiful colors. I give this a 10 out of 10 for a render. It looks so gorgeous. Two things I disagree with. First, tapered edges. I don't see them going back to square edges on an iMac. Also the speakers. The speakers look like they're coming out the sides. They're going to go through the bottom. The way the iMacs work is air intakes through the bottom that gets shot out the back. Speakers are going to shoot down from that air intake. So the current way the speaker setup is. I don't see that changing. Otherwise, beautiful render and a beautiful design. Let's talk about that image that was supposedly in iOS 14 code. On the left, to me, it appears to be a cinema display, not the redesign. Apple's not that sloppy to leak a new iMac 6 months ahead of its actual release. And if you look at the cinema display, it looks mighty similar. Black borders without the chin. On the right, does look like the current iMac. Whatever those assets are related to, it relates to the display and Apple's displays. Now let's talk about some other upgrades. First off, hard drives. They're going out the window. We're going to get these little gum sticks to store all of our data on. Solid state drives across the board. Yay for speed. No fusion drives even. So, solid state drive, no hard drive. Processors. We're all expecting a big processor. I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. We're going to get a small processor upgrade. Oops. So we're moving from an 8th or 9th generation Intel Core i3, i5, i7, i9, and all the other i's. And we're going to move all, well, I would expect they're going to move them all to a 10th gen. So they're standard across the board. Consistency. Let's go to the slide. So the blue is the current iMac and the current price points. And the green is what I suspect will happen. Very likely I will be wrong. If I'm 100% accurate, well, that was just a lucky guess. I have no inside information. I haven't talked to anyone. I'm just the lone guy on the internet data mining. 21-inch iMac. We have a 6 cores, 8 gigs of RAM standard, with 1 terabyte hard drives or fusion drives. I suspect that's going to be all SSD. They're going to start at 256 gigabytes, like they do for the absurdly priced $6,000 Mac Pro. $6,000, 256 gigabytes, really? Then again, they sold 16 gigabytes in an $800 phone for the longest time, so not surprised. GPUs. So they have between 2 and 4 gigabytes for the 21-inch. I see them bumping up to 4 and 8 gigabytes, knowing how Apple's applications themselves have been more GPU dependent for computing. They're also going to move from the Vega architecture from AMD to the Navi architecture. Navi. Base model, I see the 5300. They're going to say it's X instead of an M, similar to the 16-inch MacBook Pro. So I see 5300, 5500, and potentially a 5600. This is the one I'm questionable on. I don't know if the rumored 23-inch iMac is going to be upgraded to a 5500 or if they're going to do a 5600 option. Let's go to the 27-inch. 6 CPU cores across the board with the option to upgrade to an 8-core chip. I see them having 6 cores being the base iMac, quote unquote. The mid-tier and the higher-end tier will be 8 cores, and then you could spend even more money for a 10-core option. Currently, there's 8 gigs of memory. I see them being the standard on the low and the mid tier. The high end option I really hope they go to 16 gigs as the minimum, but it's Apple and they like their money. Storage, I see more fluctuation. Again, base model with 256 gigs, mid tier will have 512, similar to the 2020 13-inch MacBook Pro. And the higher end option will have a terabyte standard. And I actually see it doubling the Mac storage. Currently with the 27-inch iMac, as of 36 hours before WWDC, you can only get 2 terabytes of flash storage. I see them going to 4 terabytes. And the 8 terabyte storage options for the Mac Pro and the 16-inch MacBook Pro being their quote-unquote Pro models. That's why I say that. GPUs, complete shot in the dark. I will likely be wrong. The base 27-inch will have the 5500X. That's essentially 5500M, just more power. Higher core clock and memory clock speeds. A mid-tier being a 5600X, and the high-end being a 5700X. AMD currently has a 5700 and a 5700 XT. I don't know if they're going to do a 5700X and a 5700 XT. I honestly don't know how it's going to work. Or they could go 5700 XTX, which that's a weird name. GPU memory, I suspect it's going to be 8 gigabytes across the board with the potential for a 16 gig option for the 5700 XTX or whatever they decide to call it. Thank you everyone for following me on Fantasy Island. I hope you enjoyed my friends in the background. Please lightly tap the like button if you enjoyed this content. And be sure to subscribe and hit that bell, as I will do a wwdc recap video on Monday. And follow me on the tweets, where I will tweet my thoughts throughout the day at IamChaosMikey. Please keep in mind, I'm throwing darts shot in the dark, and I'm pretty certain I got some stuff wrong. It would be amazing if I got it 100% right, but I'm pretty certain I got it wrong because no one besides people at Apple know what's actually happening on Monday.